Hey everyone, it's Erin from erinbunpaints. Welcome back to another acrylic painting tutorial. Today I'll be teaching you step by step how to recreate the beautiful painting beside me. It's called Fall Reflections. Today I'll be using all 5 of my usual paint colors, so I have red, yellow, phthalo blue, black, and white. And then the brushes I use are my usual 3, so I have the large flat brush, I have a medium round brush, and I have a small round brush. As usual, the footage from today's tutorial was taken from a recent live stream of mine. If you want to tune in live next time to give yourself the opportunity to ask me questions while you paint and just to participate with all the other viewers from around the world, you've got 2 options. You can check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/erinbunpaints. That's where I stream both the acrylic painting tutorials as well as just regular painting content about 5 times throughout the week. Or you can check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/erinbunpaints. That's where I stream just the acrylic painting tutorials through Facebook Live. Otherwise, if you're looking for an easy way to check out all of my past tutorial designs, I'd recommend checking out my Instagram at instagram.com/erinbunpaints. And then if you're looking for any of my past tutorials, they're all right here on YouTube. So I'd recommend subscribing if you don't want to miss the next upload. All right, time to fly away. Have a great time painting. The first brush we're using is the large flat brush, so you can get that ready. And the first thing I did in this painting is I did some light blues. So I'll point out that there's 3 colors in the sky: blue, yellow, kind of this orangey red. And you can see they are a little bit separated by white. Okay, so what I'll be doing is adding a very nice soft blue. We will go in with white, and then we'll go in with the kind of yellow-red tone. And that's because we want to keep them a little separated, because if we were to blend them all, it would turn straight rainbow. And instead I wanted to keep them a little bit more separate, so there's blues, yellows, oranges only. Okay, so again, to repeat, large flat brush. You can dunk in your paint water if you wish. That's always a good start. And you're mixing a nice light blue. Again, I was just painting literally less than 30 minutes ago. And I gotta tell you, my plate is an absolute mess. We did a painting with lots of browns. Lots of browns. And my plate rather, is mostly brown right now, so it's gonna be hard to move around. See all that? That's scary town. Scary town on volcano plate today. So we're making a light blue. Lots of white, tiny bit of blue. Lots of white, tiny bit of blue. Nice soft blue. Ooh, it's already dripping. Lots on my plate today. Thanks for all the cheerses on Facebook. I see them all. Let's just have a look at the sky here. I just want to point out how far down it comes. It's about a little less than halfway down, maybe halfway's here, so a little less. So I'm going to do the sky again a little less than halfway down here. The sky as well, before I remove it, lots of like wavy streaks. So we're not doing any back and forth today. We're doing some nice, very loose curves. So what you can do for the first step, take your light blue that we've mixed, lots of white, little bit of blue, large flat brush. We're going to start doing some very loose waves. Very flowy. I think I just flicked some blue off of my brush. It's probably on the carpet. I don't see it, so I'm going to leave it. I need to cover up that area of the room because this has happened before. The waves that I'm making, they're pretty thick. You can see I'm kind of spreading out the paint a little bit. I'm using maybe the width of the brush plus a little bit more, just kind of going back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to grab a little more. I'll do another wave, maybe like a little further down here. And you can vary. You can make some a little thick, a little thin. They're all just going to kind of blend together very softly with the white. So it really doesn't matter exactly where you place them or exactly how they're looking. We're going to continue to soften them up as we add. So maybe there's a second one there. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe just like one coming like this. So my sky definitely won't be the exact same as the original, of course, because my waves are going to be a little different. But I am trying my best to keep kind of the same amounts of color at least. The waves might be slightly different, but the look will be very similar, if not the same. I'm darkening it just a tad. So again, just nice big, very smooth strokes back and forth, waving up and down. There we go. No passport needed. Good title, Leanne. Thank you, Anna, for listing that out. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. CJ, I'm really glad you had a good time. Oh yeah, I'll check it out, James, for sure. No worries, CJ. Fall Tranquility. Danny, welcome in. I love fall too. That's why we're doing it. That's why we're moving right into fall right now. Oh, man. Oh, thank you, Allie. It is going to be on screen, but just for audio. Thank you. Oh, I got it already. There we go. Oh, nice, CJ. That's good news. All right, everybody, we're actually going to move a little quick through the sky because there is lots of blending and we want to make sure our paint stays nice and wet for the blending, right? So we're going to keep washing off our brush, grabbing a little bit more color and just kind of waving it in and around all the rest of the color. So I have my large flat brush, I'm washing it off. Thanks, K9. Yeah, I hope to do something like that again. I'll explain to Facebook what was going on Twitch earlier in just a minute because I think they'd find it fun and interesting too. So I've washed off my large flat brush and I'm just grabbing plain white paint now. So I'm not grabbing a second or third color, just grabbing plain white. There is a reason for this, I'll show you. Using my plain white paint, I'm going to go around the edges of the blue. And you can see how it kind of softens up the edges even more. They were still already soft, but the white really softens it. Check out that one edge compared to all the others. It kind of fades away now. So I'm doing that to all the edges of the blue, and I'm just continuing to dip my brush into white paint. If your brush picks up a little bit of light blue in this process, that's totally fine. Maybe you're not applying like a perfect white every time, it's more of like a super faded blue, just as it mixes. That's okay. That's no issue at all. So again, brushing just on the edges and it's softening up those light blue edges. A little more white. I'm just touching up the last few there. And the other thing this is doing too, it's not just softening up the edges, it's kind of prepping for the next step. We're laying down some wet white paint so that when we add more colors, it'll kind of blend into the white as well and keep everything nice and soft. So again, white paint all along those edges. I'll give everyone a minute or two if you're still working on that. I hope you're wrong, Wood. I'm sure she'll get to it. Although, now that she has her nice headset and has started streaming a wee bit, it might be very tough. She might be preoccupied now. And I'm kind of here for it. Oh, Patricia, no worries. If you need a catch up, let me know, but I literally have done 2 steps. We just did some light blue kind of wavy streaks, and then we put some white on the outsides of those. Giving a quick extra minute. Poor CJ. Yes. Oh man. Yeah, Patricia, just let me know if I can help you. For those who are done that step, you can wash off your brush. We're going to be using the same brush again, and we're using yellow next. No worries, Elizabeth. Hello. Same thing. If I can help you with any steps catching up, just let me know. We've only done 2. We've done the light blue, just wavy streaks, and then we did white on the outsides a little bit. K9, no way. Whatever floats your boat. I assume you've been having some fun. You've been busy. Maybe not. If I moved, I'd be the same way. I haven't moved in a long time, but I'm sure I'd be the same way. Pink Whitney, hello, welcome in, welcome back. Again, that name change. Just in time. I've only done 2 steps. If you need help with catching up, if you're painting today, let me know. All right, next step, everybody, I'm going to be using yellow. And what I do with the yellow is I fill up the remainder of the space. Even though we have some of this kind of reddish orange in here, you'll note that I mostly put it, well, I do put it on top of the yellow. So what we're doing is we're using the yellow to fill up any spaces. And then we'll put this red-orange kind of inside the yellow to help break it up a little bit. Randy Marie, that's what we're painting today. It is on Instagram. If you want a solid like digital version that I'm not moving around, feel free to check it out there. So I've got yellow on my large flat brush. And again, I'm using it to fill up gaps So you will have kind of waves because you're kind of following the waves of the blue, but you might get kind of larger sections like this that are maybe like an almond shape or just more of like a round shape. They don't need to all be streaky waves. And I'm just softly adding those in between the blues. I'm trying my best not to blend the yellow and the blue directly together, right? I'm trying to kind of blend the yellow into the white so that it softens up. If you were to blend the yellow and the blue directly together, it will make a green. So I try and avoid it just because I didn't really want green in my sky, but it's your sky too. If you want green in your sky, you're welcome to purposely blend the yellow and blue. It'll make some nice green tones. Doesn't look bad in my opinion. It's just like, I just kind of wanted the yellow-blue sky personally, and orange eventually. So again, working on those gaps. So I'll tell you, the Facebook audience here. So for those who don't know, I stream on Twitch regularly. I do all my tutorials through Facebook and Twitch, so if you're interested in tutorials, you're not missing anything. But what I do on Twitch is sometimes I do some fun painting related activities. Sometimes I'm just painting along and chatting and having a good time with the viewers. But today we did kind of a challenge. We had a friend choose a painting randomly. Not randomly, he chose it, relevant to, what he wanted to teach us. But point was, I didn't know what he chose. I had a second friend who didn't know what painting he chose. And it was his job to lead us through the painting step by step, words only. We couldn't see the painting. We had no idea what we were doing. And he was just doing his best to describe colors, where they are, objects, without fully giving away the painting. Can you imagine how tough that would be? It would be like me teaching you this painting without actually doing it here, without showing you what we're doing. It was crazy. So that's why I was a little late. It went a little later than I expected, but again, worth it. It was lots of fun. So, that kind of spawned some ideas. I mean, I would love to explore the possibility of doing some sort of a mystery painting with everybody tutorial style. Where I would maybe be painting along, you could see step by step, but you wouldn't know what the ending result is going to be until the end. It would be a little bit more of a challenge, of course. You need to be a little looser because you don't have a reference or a goal. You're just kind of trusting, lots of trust in the person instructing, trusting what's going on and just literally following step by step. So let me know if you're interested in that. I've already heard a few of you at least are interested in it, so honestly it's probably already going to be scheduled, but I would love to know any opinions on it. If you guys have any opinions, I think I could make it pretty fun. And I guess just more so than that, if that sounded fun to you, just kind of watching along with that. I mean, I do that on Twitch, here and there, so feel free to check me out there. Just another place to find me during the week. So again, just noting that I am bringing the yellow down just above halfway, right? And we will have trees covering up, so this is really just to be super, super safe. I'm sure the trees will go more like here, but just to make sure if there's any gaps, we now have that covered. Our bases are covered. Bear, hello, I'm late too. No worries. Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear. No worries. Bear, if I can help you catch up, let me know. Otherwise, I think this will be on YouTube, so if you need a few extra days just to figure all that out, that sounds a little stressful, then please take your time, no worries. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yes, Suzanne. A while ago, yes, there you go. So kind of the drill there. At least I'd be painting along with you. You could see what I'm painting, but you don't know what the ending result is. So that's kind of the idea. There you go. Just giving another minute or two if anyone's still adding the yellow. And I guess just as an extra tip for the painting, everybody, if the yellow did start to mix a little with the blue or got a little close, you can always wipe off your brush, wash off your brush, grab a little more white, and use that to kind of separate some colors again if you need to soften up anything. So feel free to go backwards is what I'm saying. There's no rule that you need to stick to the color we're doing. You can always go back and kind of re-add. Thanks, Riz. Joanne, they do. Sorry, it may have been in reference to something I said a few minutes ago. If you want to clarify, let me know. But you sound excited. Again, just giving another minute here. We did not, Lisa, no. That's from your comment a while ago there. Canine, that's always the first thing I would set up. There, you can, CJ, you've got support here. Thanks, Lisa. I'm glad you enjoyed. See, Pink Whitney's down. She says, yes, yes, yes. K9, we trust you. Thank you so much. Yeah, oh yeah, and it would be an easier painting, K9 for sure. It wouldn't be anything overly complicated. That's the whole point. It would be something totally manageable, I think. Definitely involves some trust, a little bit of looseness, a little bit of like creativity and just letting things happen, but I think we could do it. Oh, Charlene, did you check out my video from the other Friday? Last Friday? Yeah, last Friday, I think. There you go. Yeah, we're all on the same page there. Oh, Dollar Tree has Christmas out. There you go, Joanne. And size Elizabeth, I use 16 by 20s every time. I did, Mish. Yes, people are pointing that out. A while ago. Not through this page, I guess, is all I'm saying. But yeah, pretty much. And that's what, yeah, I want to do that with my own design. One you've never seen before, of course, so that it's a total surprise. I think that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, Charlene, I can definitely help you out with that a little later if you want to chat about it. Yeah, or check out the stream because I do talk about like what I put in there as well. K9, same for the bullet journal. Same thing. If you want to message me, we can talk on Discord or wherever you like. Let me know. I love talking about it. Okay, so again, moving on here just before the yellow is totally dry. It's okay if it's a little sticky. We just want to streak in some of our kind of orangey red tone. So you can see I add probably the minimal amount of that because it is going inside of the yellow. So just little bits here and there. And yeah, again, any spots that you just want to add a little bit of a different color. So maybe a little up here. You can see I put, look at that lighting, a little more down there. Again, your painting, do what you like. I'm going to keep using the large flat brush. You can wash it off. It's not super necessary because we're just going to use yellow to mix an orange now. But if you need to wash it off if it got a little dirty, feel free. Excuse me, I need to pour some red. So yeah, I would say I'm mixing about equal amounts of red and yellow, and naturally that will give you more of a fiery orange. So I'm not really, just for my sky, I'm not really looking for like a really bright pumpkin-y orange or anything. It's more of a fiery orange. That's why I keep telling you it's kind of like a reddish orange. It's kind of in between. Who knows what it is, right? It's whatever you want it to be. Equal amounts red, yellow, just little bits on my brush. I don't need a lot because I'm trying to blend this on top of the yellow. So here we go, just little bits kind of streaking in. And I'm gonna maybe lay it down and then I'll blend it out a bit. Lay some in here. Up there, maybe a little down here. There we go. So that's why you only use a little. You can see how vibrant that came off, and that was maybe a little much, which I will teach you how to dim down in a second. But less is better just because we want it a little softer. So this is when there was less paint on my brush, and I'm just now wiping back and forth, allowing it to kind of mix in with the yellow a little bit, softly moving my brush, and trying to let it mix in with any wet yellow. If you added a little too much paint, a nice way to kind of dim it down would be to re-grab a little yellow on your brush. So that's what I'm going to do right now. You can use a little bit of yellow and just use that kind of like we used the white earlier, just along the edges, and that helps, you can see, kind of blend it out, soften it up. So that'll work if, again, you added too much paint. If maybe you're feeling like your yellow is just not mixing, maybe it's just a little dry on your canvas, this is the easy solution, just grabbing a little bit of yellow on a cleaner brush, putting that either along the edges or just right on top. You can see it kind of grabs if you go on top, and it just kind of helps smooth it out. Again, I'm trying to avoid the blue, maybe a little crossover there. But yeah, just in the end, my goal with this sky was to make it just nice and streaky and flowy. I felt like very often I was doing skies that were completely just straight across, you know, back and forth, and I said, why not make a nice kind of wavy sky today? And that's what I did for this painting. Grabbing a little more yellow, using that along the edges of this orange, softening it up. And again, if you need to go back to any of the colors you can, even if it's yellow, even if it's a little bit of blue, all of those are fine. Or if it's white, excuse me, we're using Yellow now. But yeah, add white, add blue. Continue to just softly stroke on a couple different colors and let them kind of mix together. Sorry for the noise. When you're getting down to the end of a paint bottle, you just don't want to waste that last little bit, so you end up slamming it on your plate. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. So for example, I'm just grabbing a little white, just using that to soften up some edges. And you can just grab small amounts of whatever color and just keep stroking back and forth, softening up whatever you're looking to soften. That's a little better. I thought it was a little messy in there, and I just kind of added some more white, some more yellow, and that softened it. Okay, so I'll give everyone a couple minutes now. I'm sure there might be a few of you who maybe added a color and you're maybe going backwards a little bit, so I'll just give some time for people to ask questions. I'll answer them, and then after that we can keep moving on. Sweet Mama, I actually painted the spooky swirl this morning. Oh, did I miss something here? I've done all my paintings, past tutorials. Spooky swirl. Ooh, so you're like right in the spooky mood. Again, I'm kind of in the fall mood. I'm not quite in the spooky Halloween mood. Quite yet. I'm sure it'll come soon though. Yeah, Canine, cool, exactly. Yeah, for real. If you want to DM me about anything bullet journal related, let me know. And again, I do. I'm going to be doing consistent bullet journal streams every last Friday of the month. I plan to keep that up as much as possible. So even if you want a whole stream dedicated to bullet journaling, what I put in it, suggestions for how to use it, that's kind of what that stream is for too. So if you want to see it in action, but just know you can also message me whenever. Yeah, the paint by number was great, Canine. I loved it. The deer, so nice. Yeah. Yeah, James, I think it also, I would think it kind of helps with just kind of color placement and stuff too. I mean, you kind of really get to know how just small amounts of differences of colors, like doing a light beige and then a slightly darker, how it can really make shading and highlighting beautiful. I think it would be good for just color practice. Not necessarily mixing, but use of colors and where to place them. There you go. Yeah, Kana, I'm really glad you enjoyed it. It's a CD? Jack? I'll call you Jack. I'll call you Jack. Hi, Erin, first timer. Do you wet canvas before you paint? Your thoughts? My thoughts. A lot of people do it, have success with it. I usually do not. I did it recently on my lavender painting, actually, and I was told that it's because it helps keep the canvas a little more wet, so that if you're doing a lot of blending, then it'll help with the blending. It kind of keeps the background a little more wet to help with wet on wet blending. So in theory, I could have done it for this one. I did not. Usually what I opt for is instead doing like a big layer of white paint, for example, if I find that's necessary. But most of the time it's just kind of laying on the colors the way you saw me do that and then using those to blend into one another. So yeah, I think it's something, Jack, that people are taught to do and maybe kind of stick with them and they're just used to doing before every single painting. I was not one of those people, and it's because I didn't go to art school. Don't tell anybody. I have high school level experience, so I guess I was never taught to wet the canvas, so I just don't. It's just kind of like I found my own way to do it, so yeah. I just want to paint that gorgeous sky and everything I own, right? I know. Thank you. But yeah, it's beautiful. It was inspired by... I was just talking about this painting challenge I did literally today. Last week, I did a similar one where I taught somebody blind, so they couldn't see what I was doing, and I was just verbally telling them. And we painted the Scream, like the famous painting, the Scream. It has a sky that's kind of wavy like this, and that's what kind of started me off with this painting. I was just like, dang, I really like that sky. So that's kind of the inspo behind it, Deborah. I would check out the Scream if you're interested, just to kind of see, because I think there's less blue in it, but still kind of wavy, the nice yellows, oranges, very much like molding together, so... just more beautiful, gorgeous things you can look at. There you go. The Scream. Beautiful painting. The scary, beautiful painting. Oh, I don't have very good control. Oh, with the paint by numbers, you mean? Or maybe that was good practice, perhaps? I thought it looked very, very clean. Canine, there you go. Yep, and you were probably watching that last week, so that's it. You got it. And I think I painted this maybe the next day or the day after. And it was because it was still fresh in my brain. I was like, you know what? I really loved that sky. So yep, that's the one. Hand control, okay. Yeah, so paint by numbers would be great for that, just kind of controlling exactly where the paint's going, keeping them in those little areas, understanding where it needs to go. Very good. But yeah, that's exactly where you recognize the sky from. That's funny. And some people told me that too as I was painting it live on Twitch as I was designing it. They said, hey, that's the Scream skies. And I was like, well, maybe. Inspired by. But yeah, not the Scream painting. There's no Scream in this one. I'll give another quick minute in case anyone's still working, and then we can go right down to our trees next. We're going to do some trees. I love the trees. Lots of stacking of color, lots of just small little brush strokes all piled on top of one another. Lots of texture. I love the texture. Yeah, K9, you kind of inspired me. I didn't quite go looking for paint by numbers paintings, but I was like, that would be fun to start. Yeah. So I think I'll be looking into that soon and maybe doing one on stream. That would be fun. I don't know if anyone would, thanks, Croaky Texture. I don't know if anyone would be super interested in watching me do that, but I don't know. I think it'd be fun for me to do anyway. So as I keep saying, I'm going to continue to do what I want on stream. I want to do what people want to see, obviously, but at the same time, if it's making me happy, that's important to me right now. So I'm going to look into some paint by numbers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's just have a little look at her painting, just to kind of show you what's coming up next. Bling. All right, so we're going to be doing some trees, of course, you can see. And we can start with really whatever color. I mean, technically I started with my oranges and reds and put some greens on top, but it really doesn't matter order because we're going to be just overlapping a bunch on top of each other. I'll try my best to stick to exactly what I did here, but just know that if you feel like starting with a new, different color, you totally can. Bring those closer there. But yeah, just as a review of the colors, I use red, orange, I would say 2 shades of orange actually. We'll be doing a nice yellow and a nice blue. Red, orange, orange, yellow, blue. About 5 different colors, 5 different shades in our trees. If you want to add more than that, of course you're welcome to. If you want to change your orange every time, your red every time, all of that's okay. But pretty much I'll be showing you the technique and then you can of course customize as you like. I am switching brushes at this point. I'm using a medium round brush. Medium round, K9 likes it, thanks. And yeah, let's, I'm gonna study which one I did here first. It was the orange for sure. You can see how the orange is in the background there. So let's start with a nice beautiful orange. So medium round brush, you can mix together yellow and red. There you go, Suzanne. Yeah, she says, I'm really enjoying exploring bold colors for the sky. Me too. And I'm really enjoying exploring different like cloud types and stuff. That lavender painting I showed off a little earlier, very different cloud look. So I'm excited to keep continuing with that as well. Again, I'm mixing in orange, yellow, and red. Okay, and before I actually do anything, I'm just going to throw on a little horizon line here. Just so I can, well not, yeah, horizon line, water line, whatever you want to call it, just so I can kind of have a level plane for my trees. So again, I place that just above halfway, so right around where everything's ending there. And it's really just to show myself where my trees are starting. You can use really any color, but orange is the one I have on my brush, so that's what I'm using. Oop, kind of goes up at the end there. There we go. Okay. So when you have that line on, we can just start to add some trees. The technique I used for these trees was using the round end of the brush, kind of the tip, and just doing individual kind of leaves. You know, they're kind of chunky, big leaves if you want to think of them that way. It's not like they're individual leaves. They're just kind of more like the big branches or clusters of leaves. Maybe that's a better way to describe it. So using the tip of the brush, kind of at an angle at the canvas, so rather than going straight on or level, I go kind of at an angle, 45. What I'll be doing is pressing the tip against the canvas, doing a small little brush stroke, and then lifting off. So it leaves behind kind of like a little dot, a little oval type look. I like to personally start at the top of the trees and kind of work my way down. That way I can go from thin to thick. I'll do just one leaf or cluster of leaves and then kind of continue them down. And again, just angling the brush, using the tip and using a little bit of pressure. So watch as I go here. So I'm angled, pressing, pulling, taking it off. It's just one little dollop. Let's call it a dollop today. I start with just one at the top. I'll do a couple of dollops underneath, maybe 2. I'll start to do a little more. There's 3 there. You don't need to do them all in a row. I'm just trying to demonstrate how the shape is starting to form. And I'm continuing to grab paint. I'm doing these small brush strokes to leave small little dollops. You can change the sizes of the dollops. If you want to do some larger ones, just use more pressure and stroke. See, that's a nice big one. If you want to do little teeny ones, just to maybe give a few little extra details on the top or on the sides, just press a little lighter and that'll give you a few smaller ones. You can see in the end, I put them all pretty close together, especially near the middle of the tree. I start to really pile them on so there's not a lot of space there. And I'm just bringing them all the way down to the horizon line, water line, whatever you want to call it. And hopefully you can see how I went from a nice thin tip up here, widened it out just like a triangle, kind of like a tree shape, and then just ended where the horizon line is. That's one of many trees. One of many. Sounds good, Charlene. Yeah, I'm excited for you. I can help you out. Lynn, hello. Just passing by to say hello. Welcome in. Love the paint. Thank you. Excellent. Glad to hear, Lynn. Oh, yeah, Jules? How's my sound for others if you want to let me know? Happy little tree. We're going to give him some friends. Don't you worry. Lynn, I don't know if that's a little... Or sorry, Julesy, I'm not sure if that's a little better. And I'm going to pump up the gain a little bit. Let's try that. Hopefully that's better. Let me know. Lots of trees. You got it. There they are. And Lynn, I see you on Facebook too. Oh, you're so cute going to both. Have a great evening. You too. You too. Perfect. Thank you, Grog. Thank you, Lynn. Okay. Yeah, Jules, I'm sorry. There's a few that say they're good with sound. Try and pump me up. There might be the volume bar on Twitch as well. You can pump that up as well as the computer volume. Try that and let me know. Thank you, Jack. You sound fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm just going to demonstrate another tree. It's the exact same thing. I'm just kind of showing the tips again. Orange paint, tip of the brush, 45-degree angle, stroking. The other thing I'm kind of doing, I guess, with my strokes, you can see they're all kind of pointing upwards. I guess I should point that out as well. None of them are really going left and right like this. You can do a few of those, but I just kind of like the look of the leaves kind of coming up the tree a little bit and out. So you can see on the outsides, for example, they're kind of angled. You know, they're all saying, yay! They're all saying a hooray on the outsides. In the middles, it doesn't really matter because you end up kind of smooshing them all together anyway. Thank you, Mish, for confirming. And you can see how you get maybe a little quicker at it the more you go. So you can either take your time or just kind of speed it up as much or as little as you like. I think I'll do maybe one more orange one. We have lots of other colors we can use, but just to finish off, I'll maybe do like half a tree over here. In terms of height, maybe I'll talk about that a bit. You can see obviously the height, but if you like the design of my painting, what I tried to do was do some smaller trees over here, and they slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger on the way up. They can, of course, go a little up and down on the way, but in total, they're kind of coming up on the left-hand side here, a little shorter on the right. Just put a little guy in there. Just a little friend. A wee little friend. Oh, that did it. Thanks. Great. I think I did play with the gain a little bit recently. So I'm glad you mentioned it. Thank you. Cool cat. Gumdrop trees. Oh, why are gumdrops such a consistent theme? We did the pink painting recently, the pink flower with the pink ladybug, and everyone was saying gumdrop middle, and I was like, oh, I'm hungry for gumdrops now. Yeah, they're kind of like gumdrop trees. That would be a fun idea. A little Candyland painting? What do you think? What do you think? Like candy inspired? We're not like literally painting candy, but like gumdrop trees. You know, the board game Candyland, everything's kind of candy. I'll give that one a think. In the meantime, let's throw on some red. So the red I used, I honestly mixed a teeny tiny bit of black in there because I liked this kind of rusty red. You see how it's a little more rusty against the brighter oranges there? So if you like kind of the rusty, yeah, I'm going to keep saying rusty, the rusty red, that's what I'm going to use. I've just washed off my brush. I'm going to grab the tiniest amount of black. You only need a touch of black, and I'm mixing it into a pile of red. If you'd rather use just plain red, that's totally fine, but I stuck with more of a rusty color for my red because I had my fiery orange already, and I was like, well, red kind of looks similar, so I wanted a little more of a rusty red. Brick red, a couple different names I'm sure you could say for it. Yes to Candyland, I assume, Grog? Ooh, I will get thinking. And again, it's the minimal amount of black, like just when you start to see it turning into a different shade of red, you're like, all right, I'm done. I don't need any more. Just a nice rusty color. Same thing, everybody. There we go. I'll just do another one beside. And of course, you will have some overlap. That's the whole point. So if you start to overlap something, that's totally fine. With each layer, I'll be overlapping more and more. And most of the colors, at least all the fall colors, red, orange, yellow, they all overlap beautifully together, so you don't need to worry about any muddy colors mixing. If anything, I like to purposely try and like mix them up a little more just to make it look like they're fading into one another almost. I really like that look. So feel free as well. Again, you can see I'm kind of breaking my rule. I made this guy a little taller, but you'll see in total, they'll come higher up on the left, lower on the right. Let's throw one maybe like right here. I'll make them nice and tall. So again, pressing, pulling a little, lifting off. And going a little quicker here, of course, but please keep taking your time if you need to do all your brush strokes a little slower. Charlene, that was a nice rusty red, so lots of red, a little bit of black. Just a wee bit, just to turn it a little more rusty. Yeah, I think so too, Kate. I think it could be very creative. That's why I'm kind of liking the idea for sure. Wendy, thanks for the follow. T-Funk, thanks for the follow. Gabby Baby, thanks for the follow. And Tiss, of course, thanks for the follow. Cheese. Wow, sorry, I missed a bunch of you there. Again, I'm doing the tutorial so the alerts are off, but thank you all on Twitch if you're still hanging out. Welcome in. Feel free to chat. Yeah, and no doubt I'll probably be looking up the Candyland board game for some nostalgic feelings, but also to get a little inspired, because I remember that game being just like so many cool candy related things, you know? It was just so magical. I loved it. See, we already have quite a bit of room filled up here. We don't have a lot of room left, so maybe I'll do one tiny little red guy right here. And I'll just keep encouraging you, stack them on top of one another. You can see this one I started literally on top of the orange just so it looks like it's in front, a little lower. That's how you get all that nice nice layering and depth, right? Is just layering all those on, so feel free. This one's more of a little bush, and that's okay. Thank you, Lori, thank you. I appreciate it. You don't need to hear me drinking out of a straw, so I'll move away as I do it. Okay, I'll give a quick minute in case maybe anyone's still adding the reds or even the oranges. You can just keep taking your time. I think I'll do a light orange next, just so everyone knows. So we have 3 more colors. I'll do a light orange, I'll do green, and then I do leave yellow for the last because it's kind of like a highlight top off. I like having the lighter trees a little more in front. I think it looks pretty that way. If you are ready, you can wash off your brush, but I'm still giving a little bit for those still adding. I know! I just wanted as an excuse to look up the board game and, like, again, relive some childhood a little bit, but honestly, it would be inspiring too, I think. It's very creative, a very creative game. All the characters in it too, I mean, they're all made of candy and have their own themes. I feel like one was kind of like candy cane related. I would need to really think of, I think there was a gumdrop character, I think like a gumdrop king of some kind, maybe. I would need to, yeah, I really need to look it up. It's been so long since I've really touched Candyland, played Candyland. And I'm sure just older board games would be inspiring too, so maybe this will be a big rabbit hole for me. We'll see, we'll see. Lisa, love this, we'll paint it tomorrow. Excellent, no worries. I hope you enjoyed tomorrow. All right, if you are ready, you can wash off your brush again. And we're mixing now just a nice light yellow, or sorry, light orange, excuse me. We have 2 shades of orange. We have this very bright orange. We're gonna do more of like a, yeah, lighter toned orange just to get lots of different shades in here. So I've gone to my plate here. I've mixed together yellow with just a little bit of red this time. And then that way it's more of a light orange. You can think of it as a golden yellow, really whatever you like. There's lots of different ways to think of this color, but just a lighter orange shade. And guess what? We're doing the same thing. We're just gonna keep filling up some space here. Maybe I'll go right here. See how it's just kind of like a dirtied up yellow or light orange, whatever you want to think of it as. Piling it on. I will warn you, if your paints are anything like mine, the yellow is quite transparent. I don't mind it for this step because I kind of like the layering. You can kind of see a little bit through. It's as if the leaves are all poking through one another. I will be fixing up the yellow for our final step, our nice light yellow, so that it's nice and bright on top. So if that's your concern, we will have that coming up. But for now, I'm just kind of using this again to fill up some gaps. Mixing on top, that's totally fine. See how they all kind of blend together, just like real trees would, right? They're not really immediately in front of one another. You still see a little bit behind coming through. They all kind of work together. Let's put one here. And again, we will put on a bright yellow later, so don't worry if you're feeling like we're missing that. It'll be the last one. The last one we use. Something like that. So it's looking very fall right now. This is full-blown fall. Our next color will be green. I'm still giving a quick minute in case anyone's adding, but just so you know, we're going to be pulling it back to like summer to fall. If you're really feeling this though, just keep adding those reds and oranges and yellows. That's fine. I will be putting green next to make it a little more transition-y. Oh, Shaylin, welcome in. No worries. I overslept, laughing and crying. Oh, I'm sorry. So Shaylin, the video will be available immediately after I'm done. So that'll probably be around 9 p.m. EST. What will happen is it'll be immediately available on Facebook and on Twitch if you prefer Twitch. And then a few days later, it'll be uploaded to YouTube. The YouTube video is usually a little higher quality. It's edited down a little bit, so it's not as much of me like talking away at the start and at the end and everything, if that's what you prefer. But otherwise, if you're itching to paint this, just after 9 p.m. EST, I would say today, you can check back right here on Facebook. That's fine. I'm sorry you overslept, but I'm sure it was a nice thing. I'm sure it was nice that you had a nice little nap. Or not if you're around the world. Maybe you're waking up in the morning. Who knows? Who knows? Either way, it's still available for you. It will be very soon. Don't worry. Oh, yours, Charlene? Let me know what's up. I can try and help you. They're not looking like little gumdrops. And hello from Iowa. Hello to you, Anne from Iowa. Welcome in. Are your trees changing yet? They are here, apparently. I haven't seen them, but we've got a few locals who have said that they're very close by to me, so I'm excited to see. All right, I'm going to wash off my brush. This is still the medium round brush. We're using this for quite a bit here for the trees. I'm now going to mix a nice bright green. So just as a reminder, got some green in here. See how it really pops off? It's a nice dark color compared to everything. We're going to put that in some remaining spaces. You can note that I did some larger trees with green, but what you can also do is kind of split them up a little bit more. So if you like the idea of it poking out kind of behind, you can do the same technique, just kind of splitting up your strokes a little bit more rather than putting them all together, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. You can always make them feel like they're a little further back just by splitting up your strokes a bit more. To mix green though, if you have primary colors like me, you just want to mix yellow with a little bit of blue. So it's a nice bright green. And I said lots of yellow, little blue, because I think that brings out a brighter green. If you use lots of blue, it tends to go very, very dark, more of a bluish green. So that's why I'm using mostly yellow, little bit of blue. But again, it's your painting. Do whatever green you like, as always. So I've got my green. I'm going to start with that big tree on the left there. I do try and do my best to stick to the original here. Same technique though. And I guess something I should mention too is how often I'm grabbing more paint. If you're really, scraping the paint off while you're doing this, your branches, your leaves, whatever you want to think of these as, they're not going to look quite as crisp and clean. Instead, you want to just continue to grab some paint so that as you stroke, nice solid strokes come off. So nice clean strokes come off, right? I'm gonna make that even taller. I want this one nice and tall, just towering over the rest. Nice big tree amongst all of them. It kind of falls off the left-hand side too. If it covers up some stuff, that's okay. I will note green on top of the other colors, they don't mix super well, so I wouldn't try your best to, you know, purposely mix them together. You can see I've piled them on top. They turned a little darker. I just wouldn't start like swirling your brush around trying to mix things like green and orange, for example. Green and red aren't very good as well, so just be a little more careful with that. It doesn't mean you have to avoid those areas. Again, it just means that you kind of put the color on top and then leave it alone, rather than play around with trying to mix them together. Poor Mina, can we also add blue trees? Yes, it's your world, it's your painting. Put some blue trees in there. I don't often see blue trees, but they would probably look beautiful, so try it out. See how it looks. Sounds good, Shailene, no worries. Just adding a couple more as I read some comments. Thank you, Anne. Been waiting all week. Oh, so that's why you're so sad. Oh, I understand. When things don't really work out the way you want, you're like, no, it's a bummer, but just know that this isn't going anywhere. I'll be finishing up and then the video will be available. And you can stop it, you can go in between, you can zoom back and forth as you work on the painting, so no worries. You'll still have a nice painting to look forward to. So again, this one is really piling on top, for example, which is fine, a nice new layer. Happy shrubbery? Yes! It's true, it could be little shrubbies. Again, Charlene, if you need help, let me know. I got some little shrubbies too. That guy's definitely a little shrub. So here's an example of a tree that I don't really want super in the foreground, but I still want some green. I'll just kind of start a tip of one. And then as it comes further down, I'm just going to space out some leaves a little more so it looks like it's just kind of poking through. So in that way you can still have the green kind of both foreground and background if you wish. So really splitting it up, making it look like a few leaves are coming out. Dolores, this is wonderful. Just found out how to watch you break. Oh, no worries. Yes, break out those paints. Dolores, yeah, if I can answer any questions for you, just let me know. But if you found me, you probably know what's going on here, and you can explore the page and let me know if you need any help, okay? Break out those paints. There you go, Purnima. It turned out, I tried it and it turned out good for those blue trees. There you go. Do some purple trees. I love purple. Why the heck not? Then you'd probably have the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green. Yep, blue, purple's just missing. You could do lots of different shades in between too. Okay, so I'll give a quick minute, and then as a reminder, we've got one more color left, just a nice light yellow. And I do kind of pile that on top, so you'll notice that I have almost no gaps. Maybe you can consider that a small gap here, but the yellow is kind of like my final layer. It just adds a nice highlight. You can see I piled it here, 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 just on top of things. So just in case you're nervous about that, don't be. If your trees are already nice and full like mine, don't be nervous, you're good. And then we'll have our whole row of trees done. This alone, I could just make a painting full of trees, honestly. I could just do dotting all day and piling of all the colors. I love the look. But yeah, more fall things coming soon again. I hope we're not too early, but obviously you're all enjoying it, so that's good. Oh, I am K9. Yes, again. I'm in the fall mood, so you know I'm enjoying it. I'm always just curious what people want to paint. You know what you all know that I ask you guys all the time, what would you like to paint? What are you looking for? So, you know, in the end, I will paint kind of what I want and what I have fun with, but at the same time, I love hearing your suggestions and ideas too, so keep them coming. I'm always having fun. Yes, K9, trust me. Trust me, I would not be doing this as often as I do if I wasn't having fun. I promise you that, okay? Oh, no worries, Lisa. Have an amazing sleep, okay? Nice relaxing time at home. Good night. Okay, and then last color, I just washed off my brush, same brush, and I mixed yellow with a little bit of white. So remember how I said my yellow, and I'm sure most of your yellow paints, excuse me, they're a little transparent if you use just plain yellow. So my little trick is adding a little bit of white to it. It brightens it up a little, but also it makes it more opaque on top of other colors. So watch this. Now that I've added a little white, you can see it's just nice and bright on top. See how it's just popping right off. And again, I like to add almost like smaller trees just kind of on top of the other one. So we have a nice small little yellow one there. And I'll just keep kind of moving around and grabbing a little more and just adding on top as I like. Of course, it might mix a little bit, but again, I kind of embrace that. Yellow mixes great with all of these colors, with the greens, oranges, reds. They'll just make more kind of in-between tones for the warm tones. So you don't really need to worry about where this is going, just really wherever you want. But yeah, that's a good trick too. Doing a few trees that are literally right on top, maybe a little smaller. Again, we said happy little bushels earlier. They're like little bushels. You can make some tall ones too, but just if you've run out of room like me, you can always do more just right on top. So you can see that one mixed a lot with green because I went directly on top of the green. So sometimes you might have to quite literally wash off your brush and start fresh to pile on a little bit more. But again, it doesn't cause an issue, right? Yellow and green is just going to make a lighter green on top, so do not worry. There we go. There's maybe one more there. Again, if you want to like dot in just a couple here and there, you can always do that too. I'll leave it there just so you can have a look. One more minute-ish. Oh, let's see here. Maddie, not too early. I'm considering Christmas gifts. Oh, there you go. These as Christmas gifts. There you go. Yeah, see, I knew it. I said, I'm sure some of you are even a season ahead at this point, so you're fine. Lynette, I love watching you and that you only use the basic colors. Thank you. I'm going to teach my grandkids to start. Oh, that's great. Yeah, and I think that's what I'll continue to do, Lynette. I want to, and I feel like I am throwing out some more challenging paintings recently. So, you know, great on you guys for continuing to come in and challenge yourselves. But in the end, I'll still be using the same paint colors because I also love the idea of like teaching how to mix the colors and just showing how many colors you can make just with those few. I mean, so that's what I think I'll continue to do. But that's a good idea. I'm so glad. Yeah, you can pretty much do any colors. I mean, the more colors you add, the muddier it might get, just if you're doing wet on wet. But in theory, you could do whatever colors you want, of course. Deborah says, I love painting giraffes. Very cool. Cheryl, here I am. Here you are. Welcome in. They look like blobs. The actual strokes or the trees, Charlene? If it's the trees, my tip would be to start to separate a few more leaves, especially near the tops. I would recommend kind of keeping all the little strokes very close together near the middles of the trees, but on the outsides and especially the top, see how there's quite literal gaps? I'll bring it close to you here. Big gaps, you know? Some of these leaves or branches, whatever you want to call them, they're quite disconnected. But because it's a little further away, it just makes it look like there's some sky showing through. Maybe there's some small branches the viewer doesn't see. But yeah, especially near the tops, you can see how they're all very separated. So yeah, maybe try that. Maybe that'll help you there. And try and fix the coloring again here. Come on. Focus. I know I'm a little dark today. Actually, maybe this will help. There it goes. Come on. It stayed a little bit. There we go. But yeah, separate them. Try that a little bit and see if that works. Yeah, see, Mish, it's totally up to you how much you want them to mix. I personally like the mixing. You can still kind of see the distinct trees, but here's a good example right here. You know, you see the tips of them, and then they all kind of blend together here, and that's what I like about fall, too, and about all the trees that we actually see outside, is they all do kind of blend together. You get those beautiful gradients. It's not just the leaves changing, it's that all the trees are kind of packed into one another. So if you prefer to have separated trees, which I don't think you do because you said it looks good, like fall blending, perfect, then you would just maybe wait a couple more minutes for certain layers to dry. More of a general tip for those who are maybe having blending that they don't like. Elizabeth, love it. Thank you. And yes, Cheryl, welcome in. Okay, let's Let's do another quick half-minute. We'll be going down to the water next. The water is next. And again, I'll talk about it a little bit, but again, it might not match exactly the reflection you would think, but I'll tell you about it. Again, our painting, our world, we can do what we want. Do, 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 do. Okay, so yeah, I'll pull up the water, you can have a look and I can tell you a little about it. So I said right at the start, I think before we start instructing, just in case anyone points it out or notices, yeah, we don't have like all the colors in the sky in the water down here where the sky is reflecting specifically. That was a conscious decision. I just didn't want to muddy it up too much compared to the reflections of the trees here. I liked the idea of having all these very vibrant colors for the tree reflections and then having more of a plain reflection here. So I'll just be doing kind of whites and blues in here. And then what I'll do is I'll go through kind of how to do this nice kind of bright streaky area for our trees. You can see how it kind of matches the tree line a bit more. So we will start with kind of the white blue area and then kind of work around with all our colors, but we're using this large flat brush for all of it. So you can get that ready, wash it off if you need to. Let's pull that down. Thank you, lighting, for staying consistent there. Very good. I'm gonna just start by grabbing some white paint. So someone was asking about wetting my canvas earlier. This is kind of my solution, not my solution, my way of doing it. I do it my way. I'm just grabbing white paint and I'm slopping that on anywhere in this bottom right area. So I'm not really worried about right up here right now or on the side where all our colors are going, just anywhere else. So if you want to be super generous with it, of course, do that. You don't necessarily have to stay in the corner, but just anywhere in this area here. Lots of white paint. Burb, my girl, welcome in. How are you today? Whoopsie, I grabbed a little bit of yellow there. You might see a tiny bit of a yellow tinge. Just minimal. Not a big deal. Again, lots of white paint. Just wiping that on, slopping it on. Professional art term, slopping it on the canvas. And it's going to help with blending. That's the point of doing this. It'll be blendy, and it'll help kind of split up the blues a little bit. There we are. So you can see I was very generous. Even though the blue will only be sticking kind of in here and in here, I made sure to get lots of white in there just to make sure it's all just blending out nicely. Better safe than sorry when you're doing white paint, right? Always add a little more. If you end up not using a little bit, that's totally fine. Just giving a quick 30 seconds-ish, and then we're gonna go right into the blue to make sure the white isn't drying. A nice cheers with the tea, of course. Got some left there, but it's a little cold and it's getting a little late, so I don't know if I want the caffeine. I'm trying to be conscious of sipping through the straw right by the microphone. I always start and then I move. Anju, welcome in. Nice to see you. I'm good, thank you. Busy day of painting. How are you? How are you? Are you in the fall mood? I hope you are. Sounds good. Sounds great. You know the drill. If you have any questions, let me know and you can enjoy tomorrow. Sue, it's to keep everything nice and soft and kind of split up. You can see what we'll do is we'll streak in the blue. It'll keep everything nice and blendy looking, nice and soft. There won't be a whole lot of plain white left over, but it'll allow for some lighter blues and darker blues to come through. I'll show you right now. We can see it all together. So I'm just going to grab that same brush. You don't need to wash it off. There is white paint on there. I'm just going to grab small amounts of blue. For example, you can see just the corner of my brush has some blue on it there. My blue is pretty pigmented, so I'm always very careful with it. Just going to streak in a couple of streaks of blue and then wipe on top. And you can see because the white is there, it really helps soften up the blue, move it around. And I'm just going left and right. And you can see naturally, because we only added bits of blue, it's starting to streak up a little bit. Grabbing a little more blue, again, very corner of the brush. Put a little more on, just randomly, left and right, back and forth, and then moving left and right to help smooth it out, soften it up. So that's why the white is there. Good question. I'm glad you asked it right before I showed. You can see it in action. So the more you wipe on top, the more it'll blend with the white behind it. It'll get softer and softer. If you like it a little darker, you can either A, just add more paint, or B, you can streak less, or stroke less, I should say. So for example, if I like a brighter blue right there, I'm just gonna stroke maybe a couple times and say, all right, I'll leave it alone. Leave it alone, you know? It'll stay nice and bright. But I'm gonna keep streaking elsewhere. And if the opposite occurs, maybe you added a little too much blue, maybe you want it softer, you don't like how dark it's getting, just grab white. Just grab white and put it on top as well. Same thing, grab little bits of white, stroke it on top. Anytime, Sue, anytime. Yes. Yeah, I like trying my best to explain why I'm doing things. So if anything isn't making sense, or like, why would you do it that way? Just let me know. It's I don't find it offensive. It's just that you're wondering. That's fine. So again, you can see how I'm purposely trying to keep some streaks a little darker, some a little lighter, and then it quite literally looks like a streaky kind of reflection in the water. Maybe a little more here. And yeah, I'm sure the same effect could be, or similar effect could be achieved by wetting the canvas or wetting your brush as you go in. And that's the other thing. I avoid really wetting my brush a lot. I enjoy like a little bit of a damp brush when I'm painting, but in terms of like dipping in the water, moving it around, sometimes it just plays with the paint a little too much. It thins it out a little too much. I find it makes it a little more streaky. So again, that's just my experience. I'm sure others have made it work other ways, but it's just what I've learned. So if you find a different way, or if you like using water, then there's no reason why you can't. Yeah. Enjoying the fall. Excellent, Inshu. I'm so glad. Again, I haven't seen technically any colors change outside, but people are telling me they're nearby, so I'm going to look around. I'm going to look around more. Still look like blobs. Oh, and you separated them, Charlene. Maybe try a little bit of the water. And then what you can do is once these dry, you can go back up and re-add some blue in the sky, like as if it's kind of peeking through. So if it's too blobby, just like dot in some blues. You can almost do the opposite, but with blues, dotting them in. That'll help separate the leaves again even more. Excuse me. That might help you. Hope it does. If not, you know where to find me. We can go back and forth and talk about your painting. No worries. Yeah, thanks, Jack. I'm glad you agree. But yeah, different things for everybody. That's why I encourage everybody to paint all the time, is because you just start to learn things that work for you. You know, something I might teach you might not work for you at all, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it's wrong or you're wrong or anything. It just means that you have a different way of doing it. You should try one way and then try another and try another. Trees are very much that way. There's so many different types of trees that you can learn how to do, but sometimes people stick with a specific kind of tree because they rock it. They're great at a certain tree and they just put that kind of tree everywhere, a certain cloud or anything, right? So find your own way. Use everybody else's ways to practice and then kind of like mold it into your own if you want. Yeah, it's changing a bit, not much. Yeah, I still haven't seen any, but that's what people are saying. They're like starting to. Joanne, I play Candyland with my 4-year-old granddaughter. Oh, there you go. So maybe you know the characters well. I need a refresher on all the stuff in that game. I just found it so magical and inspiring as a kid. So those are my memories. I want to go back to those memories. I think that was probably enough time for the blue. Shout at me if, don't literally shout, but yeah, tell me in the comments if I'm going a little quick, but I think we're good to move on. I'll just show you the rest of the water here. So the rest of the water is a lot more vibrant, and it is a very similar technique though. I didn't add any white to begin with, but instead what I used is more of like a yellow base, and then because like I said before, yellow mixes well with all the colors. So using more of a light yellow base and then streaking color on top really worked for me. So I will be using a nice light yellow, just kind of whipping that on like I did with the white. You can see it all kind of in here and in here. And then what I do is I go on with different colors. You can see reds, oranges, greens, and I kind of leave those a little more streaky. So I'll show you how to apply it, kind of blend it out a little, but leave it a little more kind of clean and vibrant as well. So that's what's coming up there. So I'm taking the large flat brush again. You can wash it off whenever you're ready. I already did. I don't know why I just dipped it again. I I already did that. And I will use a light yellow, so you can mix yellow with white. I should watch Bob Ross. Yeah, Bob's great at teaching trees. He does a lot of his trees. He has such a way of explaining it too. I really try and channel him when I'm doing the more of the like pine trees. Definitely think of him. All good. Excellent. Thanks, Mish, for confirming. I'm always wondering. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's a little bit of a dirty yellow. Don't mind me. That just mixed in with something a little different on my plate. But you can see I'm using it the same way as the white, just kind of slopping that on. It's going to be a nice wet base coat. And you can see I'm just kind of traveling all around the blue. So again, you can see that you can streak maybe a little into the blue. But once again, as a warning, yellow and blue do make green. So I'm just kind of softly brushing into the blue. So kind of flicking my brush into it so it doesn't mix a lot, but you can see it still softens up a little bit. But mainly, my main concern is to get the gaps. So I'm just trying to add to my brush and then continuing to go around the top and the side. I am trying to keep a relatively clean line at the top here where the tree line is, because that's technically the water line, right? So it would be pretty clean up there. So just doing a nice straight line and then continuing down. I would say I'm using less pressure as I go around the blue. That will just allow for a softer edge so it's not completely mixing with the blue. See that? How it's just kind of covered up the gaps. It doesn't need to be a perfect shape. You can see how it kind of jiggles and zigzags in and out. It's just any gaps to cover right now and to lay a nice wet base. Nice fresh base. Happy trees. Oh, broken! My alert didn't go up just because I'm doing a tutorial. Thank you so much though. Continuing to give sub. Thank you so much, Broken. I'm glad you've been enjoying. I've been enjoying you seeing come back and that the trust isn't broken. Thank you so much. No more peanut erasers, I swear. Angie, my daughter said hi to you and she said she's waiting for a dragon painting. Oh, I'll try and keep that more in the front of my brain. Angie, I have been trying to think of more animals to do. We just did the sloth on Friday, but I want to continue the animal trend, so maybe a dragon could be next. I was thinking kind of unicorny. Is she into unicorns? Let me know. I've been trying to kind of cook up some sort of a unicorn design recently, so let me know what she thinks of that. But dragons, I'll try and put that near the front of my brain as well. Kellyanne, hello. Nice to see you as always. I tuned in late. No worries. We'll definitely be doing this one another time. It's beautiful. Thanks. It is very like cottage country northern. Do you not think, with the dock and everything? That's kind of what I was thinking of. This is kind of a nice view at the lake type scenario, so I can see how maybe you resonate a bit. Hope you've been having a good week. I didn't see the beginning, so hope I can find it. Yes, definitely, Joyce. It'll be available immediately on Facebook after I'm done, so around 9 p.m. EST. And then otherwise on YouTube, youtube.com/erinbunpaints. It'll be there within a few days, and you can see all my past tutorials on there. Yes, always, always. Trust restored, thank you. My heart. I'll throw the peanut away. I see it right there. I'll chuck it across the room. The peanut eraser got me. See, it wasn't just one. It was all of you. Most of you, not all of you. I wish I could have grabbed all of you with that joke. It was fun. Okay, so moving right along. Again, we want the yellow to be a little bit wet as we do this. Just streaking on some nice colors. Okay, so we have reds, oranges. You can even do bright yellows because this is more of a soft yellow, and then of course green. So let's just start with an orange just because that's what we started with the trees. Why the heck not? La 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 la. So yellow and red, just as a reminder there. Red and yellow, yellow, red. It's kind of a dirty color. I think it's mixing with something. Again, my plate is a complete mess from painting earlier, so bear with me. Poor volcano's getting overloaded. There we go. Okay, so we've got orange. I would say I'm loading out a little bit more paint than usual here. because we want it to stay a little more streaky. So I'm just using the thin edge of the brush here. And I'm very kind of loosely going back and forth and not really blending it in. I'm just kind of applying it, allowing it to blend on top of the yellow as it does naturally, and then not really streaking on top. I don't want to keep blending it because I like the individual streaks. So again, thin edge of the brush, back, forth, kind of loose. You can split them up a little as you go. Maybe pile a little onto the blue if you want, but not much. So see the separation there? Just a lot looser. It's more paint, so it's bolder, but looser in terms of the streaks and strokes. Again, you can go into the blue a little, kind of streaking in. Maybe a little more. You can see how I'm breaking up the sections just to leave room for other colors. And you can see I'm definitely not looking at the order of trees here and doing yellow here and red here. I'm just putting everything. It's just all mixing together. Let's see here. Dragon would be awesome. Awesome, Lisa. Andrew, she's not into unicorn. Oh, sad face. That's okay. That's okay. I was just telling you what was on my mind. So don't be surprised if you see a unicorn maybe coming up soon. But again, dragons I'll put in the front of my brain. Twitch, remind me. Dragons, dragons. Next time I say, I don't know what to paint, just put dragons there and dragons. Because I always do that. I don't know what to paint today, guys. I have a huge list in front of me. I have no idea what to do. Just show dragons. Alright, I'm going to keep going into my other colors. So, Charlene, I'm going to talk to you in a second because I'm cooking up ideas right now. I'm going to grab red next. You can grab whatever colors you want at this point, just whatever's matching your trees. Same technique. Just kind of loosely going back and forth. And you can see I kind of keep them in sections. I kind of bunch them up a little bit for the most part. Like I'll do a couple streaks of red, you know. And of course you can pile them on top of one another if you want, but again, just to keep a little bit of separation, I try and give them, put little bunches in them. Just trying to straighten these out. They're all a little tilty. It's because I'm painting from the side. Excuses, excuses. There we go. Something like that, right? Now, yeah, Charlene said castles, please. And I know you said castles earlier. Here's the thing. Dragons and castles would be a great combo. Am I wrong? That would be great. Oh, Volcano Play exhausted. It is exhausted. And I'm exhausted of holding it, so it's sitting down today. Yeah, castles, dragons. Thoughts, Andrew? Anyone else? Oh my goodness. I think that's a beautiful pairing. Ooh, see? We got an ooh. Oh, one I missed, you can keep it. It's a fantastic peanut. Okay, I'll keep the peanut. I'll just be kinder with the lies about the peanut eraser. See? There we go. I knew that would get a few of you. Yes, please. There we go. Mish is saying a big yes. Very fun. Good, 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 good. Okay. Joe, I heard dragons. Comes out. Hello, I'm here. We were just talking about upcoming painting themes, Joe, and dragons has been requested, and then castles were requested, and I said, why not both in the same painting? I think they pair well together. Everyone's saying yes, yes, yes. I'm just grabbing plain yellow now, everybody, so hopefully, yep, you can see how bright it is compared to the other yellow. Same thing, just kind of streaking that on. And again, you can mix a little bit. I like to keep these streaks a little more kind of bright, prominent, whatever you want to call them, but mixing is allowed, of course, if you want to blend anything. Dream catchers, maybe, Sweet Mama? That would be a cool one. Yeah, I've had some requests for, like, patterns and stuff. There's a name for it. It's kind of the rounder patterns. It's reminding me, it's reminding me of dream catchers, or dream catchers reminds me of them. It starts with an M, I think. Anyway, similar vibe. I'd be down. So starting to really fill up here. You can see how this is all coming together here, all stacking up. Mandala, that's right. Yep, thank you, K9. Yeah, I had a few requests for those. Those would be cool. Just as a nice, like, relaxing kind of patterned type event rather than, you know, lots of different techniques. That would be more of a let loose kind of just zone out thing. I think that would be very cool. Anyway. How did that volcano happen, Joyce? Did I show it? This is this is the volcano plate. This is what I've used for 5 years. Solid, just stacking paint on paint on paint. So this is the volcano. That's how it happened. It's just 5 years of painting plus. 5 years plus. Yep. It's taking a rest today. I'm taking a rest from it. Sorry for that pang. Because it's quite heavy. It's quite heavy, but yes. Thank you, Inju. I appreciate it. If you want to pop into Twitch and remind, because usually what I do, Inju, is when I go live, if I'm creating a tutorial painting, it's like 40 minutes where I'm just, first of all, just catching up with people and chatting, but mostly kind of going, what do I paint? You know, we kind of have an idea and then we all look around at things. So yeah, if you ever want to pop in right at the start, just be like, dragons, Erin. That's fine. That's fine. If I have something in mind, I'll tell you and I'll say not today, but if you keep reminding me, I'm sure that'll happen. Deborah says giraffes. That would be cute. I know we had that request already. You are not wrong. There you go, Lisa. Yes, not wrong on that combo. How about a Thanksgiving? Oh, Celine, don't worry. Turkey squirrel. Oh, cornucopia. All of the Thanksgiving fall things, they're coming up. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'm just throwing on some green as my last color, everyone. I'm going to keep reading comments at the same time. As a reminder, blue and yellow. Blue and yellow to make a beautiful green. Eiffel Tower in a couple is a good idea. I did do an Eiffel Tower semi recently, but that'd be a cute little lovey-dovey painting. Black and white is a nice idea. I've had a few noir type ideas or just like specific color palettes. That's very cool. Parrots. Oh, I almost did parrots. I almost did parrots like a week ago. Remember the sloth painting? That was almost a parrot painting. Yes, getting more beautiful. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Yes, Joyce. It's yes, indeed. Parrots. Yeah, I almost did the birds, parrots, and all that. Yes. Okay, last color. I'm just doing a little bit of green. I would say I add maybe the least amount of green because I really like all the kind of oranges, yellows, fall colors. So just kind of streaking that in little bits at a time here. Being a little more careful. Like I said before, green doesn't really mix super well with reds and oranges. So just trying to, again, do solid streaks, not trying to go back and forth into the orange. So just be a little more wary of that. On yellow, it'll be fine, but reds, oranges, you might want to be a bit more careful. That's about all. So I'm just going to leave it there. I'll give you guys a minute or two. Then we can go along to the dock. No, not the dock. Well, we can do a few things, but we don't have a few... We only have a few elements left. The dock, we got some kind of grass, marshy area, and then some little ducks and geese. I want to draw a teal and black dragon. Ooh, so we got more dragon requests. There we go. Okay, I heard dragons. Oh yes, I missed a few here. Gnomes and mushrooms, yes. That always summons me, just rises. Hello, it's me, Joe. Oh yes, please do, Mish. Mandela, you guys got it. Yes, thank you. It'd be cool one for sure. Yeah, I want to think about how I could do that one. I don't know if that would be more of a drawing one, but I can try. I can try my best. Free the volcano. It's here. It's here. It's not chained up or anything. It's just not being lifted up every 2 minutes. Horse Knight, Princess Dragon Castle. Oh wait, castle like Disney. Yup. All of these themes are great. It wants to transform. I know. Something's gonna happen soon. I'm sure with it. He rise from the ashes. A dragon. Can we do moonlight? Purnina. I feel like I have a couple kind of moonlighty ones. That Eiffel Tower I just mentioned is like a nice big kind of moon in the background. We did a moonlight one with like a cat and an owl. We did a moonlight with the camping scene. You might find a few on YouTube. Yeah, try YouTube. youtube.com/erinbunpaints. That's me. There's quite a few there, but I'm always happy to incorporate moonlight into future ones. Pegasus, Grithy says, oh my goodness. You guys are getting real mythical on me. I love it. I love it. All the nice like fantasy type themes. That's fair. I don't do a lot of fantasy type themes. I've been sticking a lot to nature. I was trying animals because I know a lot of animal requests were popping up, so I'll continue to do that. But yeah, a little bit of a switch up. That'd be cool. Lil Wolf, hello, howdy. Welcome in. Howdy chat. Howdy to you. Maybe it's about time to start volcano plate number 2. Oh, and Ju, I have some plans, some light plans. Light plans. I'm wondering if I can hold out to maybe 3 months from now. 4 months. I don't know if I can hold out for 4 more months. I was hoping to maybe leave it for like start of the new year, start of a new plate. I don't know though. 4 more months of volcano plate growing. I don't know. When will it stop? When is it too much, you know? Anyway, I'll let you guys know what I decide to do with it. I've got some cool ideas to play around with, so. How about Smokey the Bear? That would be kind of cute. Or a waterfall. Oh, I have at least one waterfall. I think, at least two. Niagara Falls we did, and then we did one near the start a couple months ago. Yeah, check out YouTube for those. A Phoenix Rising. Yeah, I literally said it too. Phoenix Rising out of the ashes. That would be very cool. I love all these ideas. Oh, Canine said a Phoenix too. I was actually looking at Facebook saying that as well. So a few of you want a Phoenix. Oh my goodness. Maybe we'll just have a couple like good mythical paintings, you know, some nice fantasy type paintings. It sounds like everyone's feeling that recently. So many themes. We got fall, animals, mythical fantasy. Those are all very cool. Let's have a look at what's next. We don't have a lot left. About half. Oh yeah, that should be fine. All right, so let's lay on the dock here. Yeah, I'm trying to tilt it so you can see some details here, but what I do start off with is just a solid brown shape here, and then I do a couple different things. I'll add some darker brown posts. We'll add some highlights kind of along the edge here so you get those 3 dimensions, but honestly in the start it will look more like this. It'll just kind of look like a solid box, and then we're going to add some things hopefully you can see. Yeah, you can see those little details there. Okay, so let's start with that. That way we can leave it, we can go back, and then add the details, right? Yeah, Bev, of course I can. I'll teach this step and then I'll lift up the plate for a few good seconds for you, okay? And you can take a quick little picture. I'll warn you. I'm going to go to my medium round brush and I'm going to mix brown on my plate. All right? So we're going to do red and yellow to begin. So we're mixing brown for context. If anyone has brown pre-mixed, like in a tube, just use brown. It's probably easier. But to mix brown with the primaries, you're using red and yellow, even amounts, and then you're adding some black to it. So I would recommend just mixing red and yellow to make orange so you can kind of see that come together, and then put black into it to make a nice dark brown. If anyone heard that noise, that was the bottle, I swear. It was a little farty noise, haha. Anyway, red and yellow for orange, and then black to make brown. And it's making a pretty dark brown. We want to make sure we can make just a slightly darker brown after this, so don't make it the darkest brown in the world. But, you know, pretty dark, a nice chocolatey brown. Do you have planned for Halloween, like as in like personal activities or for paintings, Little Wolf? I don't have like legitimate, you know, completed designs planned, but in terms of designs, I just have lots of ideas. Again, everyone's been very helpful with ideas for me. Let me know what you mean though. If you mean personal plans, I can answer that question too. Easily. There are none. There are no personal plans right now. One sec, I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay, for the dock, everybody. I have it coming out of the bottom right-hand side. 2 angled lines, they come in to one another a little bit with a very horizontal line at the top. And then to make it 3-dimensional, you bring that corner down and over. I'll show you the outline so it's easier to see, and then we'll fill it in. So again, I'm going to start with an angled line coming from the bottom right. For the top of the dock, it's just a solid straight line like this. Straight horizontal, maybe a little longer. You can figure out how long you want your dock to be, but I'm going to go about there. And then you just do a 3rd angled line. It's not going to be the exact same like this. It's going to be a little more angled down. So that way the dock gets a little wider on the way down because of perspective. It's going to get a little bigger coming closer to us. So make sure this next line isn't parallel. It's going to be a little bit angled in, or excuse me, out. Not into the dock, out of the dock is what I'm trying to say. Oh, you meant painting, okay. Yeah, I don't have like actual paintings laid out, but you know, like pumpkins, cats, ghosty type stuff, like spooky stuff. I want to try my hand at some spooky type things. I feel like skulls were requested. Like I would love to try something a little more complicated like that. Oh gosh, there's just so many Low Wolf. Anything just dark and spooky for Halloween. If you have any specifics that I didn't mention there, just throw them in the chat right now. I'd love to kind of lock a few in my brain or even write them down. So honestly, if you have any other ideas, let me know. I'm sure there's tons and tons and tons. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I was going to leave that. It's okay. I'm going to fill this in just so you can see, and then I'll show you the three-dimensional effect, okay? So I am filling it in with that brown, but you'll still see the 3 dimensions that I'm going to put in here. So I'm just starting with the one shape for now. Bev, here we go. I'm going to show the volcano plate. Ready? And I'll hold it up for as long as possible here. There it is. Smile for the camera plate. Cheese. All angles, all angles. What's the best angle of the plate? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I should take a nice big, yeah, good picture of this thing. I think it's a little bit on, I think it's on my Instagram, like a nice close-up version, but just so you can see the height of it, this is, it's really blending in with the trees too. It's like camouflage. There it is. Bev, I hope that was long enough. I'm sweating. I'm just kidding. If you need another preview, let me know. There it is. What else here? Showed the plate. Princess would totally fit in. Of course it would. That's a good idea. Sounds good, New Year. That's what I think, Angie. If I can hold out, I will. What color is brown brown? Oh, because I said a brown brown. Oh dear, I'm sorry. When I said brown brown, I guess I meant a darker brown. I said, yeah, I think I said don't make a brown brown, but a brown. No, that's confusing for sure. Thanks for asking, Diana. A dark brown. We have a brown brown, a very dark brown for the posts. See how dark it is compared to the chocolatey brown that we have there. You know? So more of a chocolatey brown versus a very dark brown. Thank you. A brown brown. I definitely said that. Brenda, see, yeah, sugar skulls, that's what I'm thinking of. Spooky trees with moon and bats, there we go. Exactly, a sugar skull would be great. You're welcome, Bev. Thank God for playback, I'll watch later. No worries. Morning from Malaysia. Elaine, welcome in. And yes, no worries, it will be played back very soon. We're finishing up very soon here, so don't worry. And I'll catch up on your Twitch chat in a second here. Just want to show the 3rd dimension here to make this from 2D to 3D. Just 2 lines. We need a vertical line coming down from that top left corner. I'm still using the same brown. So we're making kind of like this side edge, right? Coming down. And then it comes parallel with the line that we've already done for the edge of the dock. So you're just making a side kind of plank, side, edge, whatever you want to think of it as, just to get the 3rd dimension. When I was making this on Twitch, someone described it as an ice cream sandwich, and I totally agree. It's like a big old ice cream sandwich in the lake. It's perfect. All right, what's up with Twitch here? I had to make a lot of brown. Yeah, no kidding, James. We can thank our friend for that one. He goes, we'll be making lots of browns and beiges. I was like, oh my god. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, okay, others say sound is okay. Charlene, I'm not sure if maybe... Sorry, I'm trying to keep the microphone right in front of me here. Poof. Hello again, I can hear. Yes, okay. And you went painting. Hype, hype, hype. Excellent. If you use cheap craft acrylic, I need water to make the paints blend. Oh, okay, Joanne. So there you go. Yeah, other people use water for different things, and that's totally fine. I find, just my experience, the water doesn't really help me most of the time, but a little bit here and there does, so use it as you will. Okay, now that you've had a good look, I'm just going to fill this in. So it will look like one solid object. We will be using some colors too, some darker browns and lighter browns to help shape it out again. But for now, it is a big ice cream sandwich. Yum, yum, yum. Cool. So we're going to let that dry a little bit just so we can put on some clean, lighter lines as well as the thicker posts. For now, what we're going to do is go to the left of the painting, and we have this kind of marshy area. I just felt like it looked a little empty over here, so I wanted to throw in some different colors of just kind of like grass or just kind of weeds, anything kind of, again, in the marsh area. It's still maybe in the water, maybe it's a piece of land, who knows, but I kind of imagine that it's kind of coming up out of the water. Lots of different colors here. I used green, reds, yellows, oranges, all of them. Yeah, so let's go through it. I'll start with a nice red tone. I'm going to keep using the same brush. That's the medium round brush. Going to grab plain red. And you can start wherever you like. I would say I start maybe a quarter of the way up. I'm going to be using the tip of the brush and I'm going to be flicking. Starting around here. Flick, 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 flick. I'm just flicking upwards. See those starting to pop off there. Flick, 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 flick. Using the tip, and I'm just kind of moving it up and down. Not really down, but just up, 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 up. Like that. You can see I go a little into the blue because I like the idea of it kind of going into kind of the open water as well. And I'm just carrying that down. What I like to do is I like to bring these out in small little groupings, so rather than putting them all of these pieces of grass all in the same area, I'll maybe keep some a little tighter to the edge here, so you can see I'm quickly doing some just along the edge, and then I'll start to bring a few more out like this, so it's almost like little rows kind of tapering off, you know? You get a little bit of a zigzag on the end here. Oh, Phlogiston, I'm sorry if I missed you there. Thank you so much for the host. Again, my alerts aren't up just because I'm doing the tutorial, but thank you very much and welcome in if you're still here. Always nice to see ya. And I'm just continuing those down. You can leave a few gaps if you want. Maybe if you want to leave like a gap here, for example, because we will be adding in green. It's always a good idea to leave a few gaps for green. But the other colors we can just stack on top as you like. Maybe down there. There we go. That's probably enough. And again, if there's a little transparency here and there or some gaps, that's kind of the point. We might want to see some streaks of water in there, so I'm not too worried about it. I concentrate more so on kind of the general shape here, the nice zigzagginess. Scary forest would be awesome. Yeah, I just want to experiment with some spooky paintings. I feel like I haven't done spooky paintings. You know, I've done some darker ones, but not really spooky. So, especially the spooky ideas, I'm totally down for. You guys know, just keep letting me know. I try my best to write these all down and organize them and just keep a few at the front of my brain, so all of the above, all of the above. James, I was thinking of you when I said skulls. I feel like you said skulls recently. Did you not? Did you not? And people keep saying sugar skulls as an idea, so I think that would be very cool. Yes, yes, I knew it, yes. Yes for all the spookies. I know, all of you are like, spooky zone, yes. Joe, Groki, if you have any other specifics, like, feel free to throw them my way. Honestly, I'm open for any and all. Monster in the closet. Oh my gosh, that's pretty spooky. I agree. That'd be cool, like a little like hand coming around the door. It's, oh, there's just endless things. Yeah, and I mean, James, like, I want things too that might challenge me as well, like skulls. I don't do skulls. You've never seen me do a skull, you know? So I think it would be very cool. Alright, so again, just continuing the trend here of using all of the colors. I'm just doing the same techniques with different colors, so we can do maybe a light yellow, for example. And just do, again, whatever colors you like. If you're not feeling more orange, for example, throw the orange out of here. It doesn't matter. I'm going to throw some light yellow in. Again, pile it on top a little bit. It might mix a little, but that's okay. I need a little more white in there to make it more opaque. Opaque is the word. Sorry, I don't know why I went so loud. So yeah, nice plain yellow or bright yellow. I'm mixing my yellow with white as usual just because of my transparency of my paint. Yep, filling in gaps, piling on top, any of the above, little rows. That yellow isn't really showing up on camera there, even though I can see it. Maybe you can see it kind of layering on. Water droplets. Interesting idea. See, that would be like a challengey one, you know? Some like macro images, you know? That'd be very cool. Yeah, Lori, if you're all done, that's totally fine. If you whip together those last few steps, totally no worries at all. There's no rules saying you have to stay, so of course, if you're all set, you're all set. That's okay. Anytime. So there's some yellow in there. I'm gonna just throw some green in there and I think I'll be good with this area. Because sometimes you get colors like oranges just when you're mixing yellow on top of red. So if you want to add, you know, orange streaks specifically, you can, but I'm going to move on to green here. And again, the green, we don't want to mix too much with the red. So if you find that it's blending, I would just maybe quickly wash off your brush, grab a little more green on there, and then put some on cleanly. And just see how it's, yeah, continuing to fill up in some rows. Also, you can kind of just scatter some. Doesn't matter. They're all kind of working together. Point is, it's just making this area a little more interesting, right? Maybe a little up here. There we go. All flicking. Still the same steps or still the same technique every time. Still have an attempt at skull. Yeah. Yeah, skulls are fun. That's weird to say. Skulls are so fun, but they are. Wonder if, I guess anatomical maybe. I was going to say, check out anatomical artwork on Twitch, but I feel like she does more like organs. Skulls are daunting to me, same as mountains. Oh, yeah, okay. And yeah, faces. Oh my gosh. I have to paint Keanu soon. How am I going to do? Oh my gosh, I don't know. So just giving a quick half minute, then we'll move back to the dock. We have a couple more steps for the dock. And then all we're doing is we're adding our little bird friends. We got a few little birds, bird types, ducks and geese specifically. We can add those all in. Yeah, faces, portraits, anything like body type. I'm just like, scary. But I want to experiment. Again, I want to keep challenging myself here. I really feel like I have been in the last few months. It's been really good for me, so I want to keep that trend going. Things that scare me, you know? So as a reminder for the dock, I'm going to give you another look. So just to kind of show what was going to happen. We're going to make a nice lighter brown. We're going to outline our ice cream sandwich. So you can see kind of the top versus the side, right? And then we'll use some dark brown, or excuse me, we'll use the light brown to make some slats as well. And then we use the dark brown for posts on the dock. And then you can use the dark brown for slats as well if you want maybe like a highlight and a low light. Krithi, were you there? Magic flying turtle? Yes! I'll talk about the flying turtle in a minute. Hee hee hee. That's funny. I was going to save that story, but I still will, yes. Okay. Let me see. So, yeah, let's start with the light brown. So if you have the brown on your plate still, you can just add a tiny bit of white to that, and that'll lighten it up just a touch. It doesn't need to be a light brown. There I go again. A brown, a light brown. It doesn't need to be a super light brown, just a brown that is lighter than your current one. I have not been able to do clouds or mountains. Yeah, you just gotta, see, that's me with portraits, limbs, body parts. I can do them, and it's because I don't ever do them, and so I'm really trying, Anna, to challenge myself to do them. Yeah, we all have something. We all, we might have more things or less things, but we all have at least one that's like, I never do it, and therefore I'm scared to, and can't do it, etc. But we need to keep trying. So there's a lighter brown. I wouldn't call it a light brown, but lighter brown. What I like to do is I just go along with the medium round brush, as you see me using. I go around the outside of that top shape that we did. So you see a little bit of a highlight. It just helps kind of, again, I'll tilt this for the lighting there, helps separate the top edge from that side plank there. And then you can also do some horizontal lines, just loosely coming across. They don't need to be perfect. They don't need to be solid. If they're a little jagged and whatnot, that's okay. Just gives a little bit of detail. See those little slots there? There they are. Shailene will be done very soon. We've got just a bit of the dock left and then the birds, and we're all set. And if you have any questions as we go along, let me know so I can answer them for you now too while I'm live. Adding cattails would be interesting. They would. That would be a nice easy thing. You can just add a few little like brown dots on top of some of these blades of grass. Beautiful idea. All right, and then once you have that light brown on, you can just mix more black back into your brown. And you're now making a brown, you're making the brown. You're making a brown that's darker than your original. So more black until you have a darker brown than your original. If you need to re-add some reds and yellows there just to get the tone right, you can. But mostly I would say you're just adding black to darken it. It's gonna be almost black, you know? It's, I'm sure on the plate it'll look black, maybe against the brown it'll look black, but there's still at least a little bit of red and yellow in there. Just want to make sure it's very dark. Let's try that. So the two things we do with this color is we do some posts. So the posts are just like thick vertical lines that start You can do one at each corner. So for the left-hand corner, we're going all the way down to the bottom of the dock because it's within view. Versus on the right-hand side, we just do the tip top of the post. We just do a little nub here, and it just kind of sits behind the dock, right? Oop, needs to be a little taller to match its friend there. That's a little better. So I do one at each end. And then I do a second row kind of like down here. I'm picturing this as kind of the middle of the dock, so maybe there's one more post like this, so it's going to overlap and come down like that. You can't really see, let me adjust there. There it is. So I started in the dock, so it's overlapping, but it's coming down to the bottom there. And then same on the other side, we want to match the height. You'll only see a little bit of a nub right around there, or wherever yours is ending, right? So it matches. This post is a little tilty, allow me to fix it. They're never going to be perfect. I'll just leave them like that. You get the idea. And then I guess lastly with that dark brown, the brown, we're just using that to do some slats again. So I just like to do a dark brown right underneath the light brown as if we have kind of a highlight and a shadow to the slats. That's kind of my theory there. Maybe we have a little bit of both there. So both colors, why not? Just more horizontal lines. Again, I will tilt this so you can see. You see some dark, you see some light. Again, very loose and basic. I didn't really concentrate too hard on those. I'm bad at clouds. See, it's all things we just need to work on. Another good spooky is reflection shadows not matching them. Oh, Joe, my gosh. Can you just start a whole thread of ideas? That's a really unique one, Joe. Because it's like spooky, like a kind of hidden way. It's not immediate spook. It's like, oh, wait a sec. What is that there? Why is there a reflection? Or why is there not a reflection? I usually stick to tropical scenes, so I never add clouds. There are no clouds in my tropical lines. See, you're making your own painting, and I love it. Yes, you're all about the palms. Very nice. Thanks, Lynn. Loving this painting. Thanks, K9. Cool cat. Yeah, it's a nice, specific, unique one. I appreciate that, Joe, a lot. You're welcome, Shalene. No worries. Almost there. Can you go over the dock again? I missed the last steps. Yeah, Suzanne. Which one? So maybe the light brown? So light brown was just adding a little bit of white to your brown and outlining the top shape. So that initial shape we did, the angle, straight line, angle. And then I did light brown for the horizontal lines in the slats here. That's the light brown. And then dark brown is doing some posts, so they're vertical lines coming down and down, stopping here because it's out of view. Down and down, stopping, it's out of view. And then dark brown as some more slats. If you need any more help, let me know. I'll go on to the birds in just a quick minute, but if I see your message before then, I'll help you, and if not, I'll help you after the step. Yeah, Sue, it's a great idea. I know. Again, everyone's so creative. If I didn't say it at the start, I don't think I did. Change this painting however you want. Of course, if you have ideas for extras or just want to move things around, that's what makes them all unique and beautiful, and that's what I love to see at the end of the event when people post all their paintings. It's a nice switch up, so feel free to just add whatever you feel. Okay. So let me see here. I'll try and move this over. Keep that within view, hopefully. Pretty similar so far, pretty similar. So you can see we have one more element left. One more element. It's just our little ducks and geese here. I chose to do ducks and geese. Why? I just felt like it. In my world, there's both right beside each other. So because it's a fall painting, I thought it was a cute idea to have some geese flying away in their nice little V formation going south for the winter, getting nice and warm. And then I have some little ducks, or they could be geese, who knows? I think they're ducks though. Just kind of swimming in the lake, just kind of having a good time. And I guess the story behind this, yes, someone... Was it Krithy coming in? Yeah. Saying the magical flying turtle. Yeah, so when I was painting this, again, I was painting it on Twitch. I usually design the tutorial paintings on Twitch just to kind of have some people to talk to while I design and to have some fun and to get their suggestions as I go. They're very responsible for a lot of the ideas in our paintings. And I don't know, I wanted to have some fun with it. And I said, all right, let's name all the geese, let's name all the ducks. And anyone who was watching at the time and was typing in chat, yes, they said, yeah, I'd love to be a goose. I'd love to be a duck. So quite literally each of these geese and each of these ducks represent people who were chatting with me at the same time when I was making these. Someone pointed at the magical flying turtle right here. These geese, they were looking a little... I don't know, their wings weren't really big, but there was one specifically who I thought looked like a little turtle. I think he looks just like a turtle, so we kept him there just for kicks. He kind of looks like a goose amongst all the others, but, you know, if we were to center him out, he does look kind of like a turtle. So that's the turtle, it's the magical flying turtle, it's Grok in the chat there. And then we have some duckies there as well, and those represent more people too. There may have been a little bit of an argument which gang is better, the goose gang or duck gang, but whatever, they're all hanging out, they're all having a good time, so... That's the story, in case you were wondering. I thought it was really wholesome and fun. So yeah, I'll teach you how to make both. You can add however many you want. Again, I'm going to add a specific number because that's special to me, but if you have geese that you want to represent as people or ducks or whatnot, then feel free. Feel free to name them all just like we did. Oh boy. Let's start with the geese. Why not? So the goose shape, pretty basic. I try to keep both of them very basic. The goose shape, I would say, is like a longer neck, so kind of just like a black line that comes out. I put a nice kind of oval or round belly, and then literally a V shape for the wings, either up or down. Because so we have some that are kind of flapping up, flapping down, so we wanted to, get some variety going in there. So let's start with that. I'll be using, of course, a very teeny tiny brush. I would just grab the smallest one you have. Lynn's a goose. Yes, I'm a duck, for example. All got our specific ones. Teeny tiny brush and some black paint. And if I could give you a little bit of a tip, I know I just, told you all I don't like using water a lot. I'm going to use a little water in my black. I find when I'm trying to make smaller objects, it's a little useful to thin down the paint a little bit. So rather than dealing with blobs and blobbing on paint, thinning it out helps a little bit. Just for thinner lines and smaller objects. So I'm just dipping my brush in the water, grabbing a little black paint, trying to thin it out on my plate. If you're doing a nice V shape like me, you'll probably want to start over here. I'm going to start with the first goose there. First goose is actually named after my little stuffed animal back there. It's chicken noodle right there. That's the first one, in case anyone's wondering. I'm going to start with a little thin line for a neck, like an outstretched neck, like a Canada goose would have. So just a nice horizontal line. I'll bring this closer. Horizontal, slightly angled, whatever you want to think of it as. Honk honk. And then either on the end of the line or within the line, we're just kind of making a round, oval, egg-shaped belly, whatever you want to think of it as. When I looked up photos, they are quite well fed. I know they're going south and have a long trip, but that's probably why they're well fed. They've got a full belly for the long trip, I would hope. So nice big guy like that. So a nice outstretched neck. I feel like that's what really brings out the Canada Goose type silhouette. There's the long neck outstretched. I don't do a beak or anything. Don't do a head or anything. I just keep it as simple as possible. And then I will add a nice large V shape. And again, the V shape, I started out very small, and the more I looked at silhouettes of geese, the more I realized how big that V shape is. See how large, it's pretty large, I would say, compared to the overall shape, and it's because their wings are so big, right? So don't be afraid to make it a little bigger. Start small if you want, and then just grow it a little, kind of pull it back to see how it's looking from a distance, because that's important too. It's gonna always look a little funny when you go up close, and then when you pull back, it'll have a different look. And that's all. Again, straight line, oval, V shape. I'll keep adding. I mean, there's like slight differences, of course, that we have a bottom V shape sometimes, so I'll show you that one here. So I'm going to do the V formation as well, so I'll do the next goose maybe right here. Kind of tight by, but on an angle. There's his belly, outstretched neck. And for this one, let's just show you a nice downward V. So again, nice and long, the wings are flapping down. There we go. I'll show you that close up. There we go. And I guess the only other thing with the V shape are the wings. You can see I maybe widen them out a little bit more at the base and keep it a little more of a thin tip down there. Yeah, you're welcome, Suzanne. How about painting of a girl sitting or standing on a dock? That'd be cute. I kind of did that for Father's Day, but not a girl. Archana, that might be a little tough. Maybe message me and I can help you out with that. I would recommend just, excuse me, looking up a Google, like a silhouette. Go to Google and type in girl sitting on dock silhouette. And try your best to look at that. Break it down into basic shapes. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's black paint. Thank you, thank you. It is black. Yeah, just look up silhouette of a girl. Think of it as shapes. Who was that asking? That was Archana. Yeah, shapes. Circle for head, angled lines for shoulders, down for the arms, things like that. If you need help, I would DM me. That way I can be a little more concentrated on it. But otherwise, I'd recommend those silhouettes. Basic girl silhouette, maybe, something like that. Dock. See what it comes up with. Lynn, love the ducks. Thank you. I know you're a goose. They could be whatever. So yeah, Deborah says, I thought they were swans. They can be whatever you want in your world. I'm going to keep adding here. Just continuing the V formation here. I am from Canada, for those who don't know, so that's why I resonated with the Canadian geese. I just know them as squawking away as they're always flying away down south saying bye-bye for the winter, so that's what I was basing my silhouette off of. I'm just going to continue a bunch more, just kind of slowly going down in this angle. Same technique every time. I'm trying not to pattern the wings, you know, up, down, too obviously. I'm trying to keep them a little more sporadic. So for this one, I'll keep them up, for example. Up, up. There you go. They're just slowly adding. All those little geese. TJ, welcome in. Geese for life, bruh. The battle begins. See, Twitch is already battling again. Now that I'm doing the pain, they're like, oh, geese for life, ducks for life. Doing the flying turtles. Hipster, welcome in. Yes. I explained the turtle specifically a little earlier if you missed that. I pointed him out for everybody. And the turtle was just a result of some wings that were a little too small. And they just kind of look like feet. There he is. There you are. Cool, I'm faster on Twitch. What's that, for the painting? Or you mean, oh, for the stream? Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, if you compare, there's probably much more of a delay on Facebook. Comments and for the feed, both of them. Just gonna add a few more. Maybe I won't do the exact number I had in the original, but just trying to show you how it looks as a nice big V shape, of course. Let's do another downwards flap. Yeah, I just love the outstretched necks. They're just like, ooh, really reaching, really reaching. Hello, Noodle. He is sleeping tonight. Yes, he is. He's having a good little rest. He's slumped over. And yes, thank you. It was black paint. Yes, Archana, yeah, and if, again, like, try your best to just, that's how I think of it whenever I'm instructing, too. I just think of it as breaking it down to very basic shapes, trying to keep it as just basic as possible. So try your best to do that, but I'm happy to guide you if maybe you try and something happens that you're not liking. I can try and give you some written instructions, too. I'm happy to try small things on stream. Sometimes it's a little much for the harder ones, for sure. Cobra chickens, whatever you like. As you start in front of the V shape of the geese, do they get larger or smaller? Sue, I don't change their size at all, really. I just keep them pretty consistent, because I kind of imagine we're looking at the side, right? They're not coming at us or away from us. So I kind of keep them relatively the same size. They're all a little different. Some of them are a little more well-fed than others, but that's just because they're unique. I think I'll stop there for the geese, just to give everyone a minute, and then we're just going to do the ducks as the last little step here. Oh, I'm missing some stuff here. Well, the bottom stroke goose actually looks legit. Which one? That bottom stroke goose? One of these guys? Maybe? I don't know. Wait, but the flying goose. They fly over here too. TJ, I don't know what you're up to. Yes, they fly everywhere. I'm done for tonight. Thank you again. You're welcome, Mish. I'll send you a pic. Okay, of stained glass. Yes. Okay, I'll see you next Friday, Mish. Night night. Night Twitch and Facebook and night. Beasts of a burden. And Jasper, we'd have big flocks of them come in and just poop big poops. You know our troubles here in Ontario too. They're everywhere. They do it everywhere. All the big poops. They terrorize the park. They feel like they own the pathways in the park. If they're crossing the pathway, you let them cross. You let them cross. You do not try and cross when they're crossing. You just say, go ahead, go ahead. Because they will come at you. They're angry little things sometimes. They hiss at you, and then they'll come and go, it's, they're very quick when they want to be. And yes, the poops everywhere. Born to Kill, welcome and hello. Sorry if I missed you there. Just ending off my tutorial very soon here. Well-fed, love that. Yes, it's always what I say. They're just well-fed. They're not fat, they're just well-fed. Especially for a long journey, they need to be well-fed, I think. Anakin, welcome in. Hello. Their poops are brutal. You guys are funny. Yes, they're everywhere. Gangsta geese. Angry birds in real life. It's true, they are. Okay. One more step, so just the little duckies. So duckies, I'll give you a nice close-up. I did 6 of them, again, representative of all. I'm this one, I'm that one there. He's coming up to the group. He's like, hey, what's up, guys? That's me. They're pretty much just kind of like ovals. They maybe have a tiny bit of the tip at the tail area, and then just a small little line up and a small little line over. Again, I don't try and do anything fancy there. It's just giving a quick little neck and a quick little beak, and then the point for the tail, but mostly oval line, I would say. And the only difference as well, some of them kind of face each other. They're very horizontal, kind of on a horizontal plane. Some of them I angled as if they're swimming up to say hi, but that's really the only differences there. The second goose you did on the new paint is way better than the goose. This one, that one, this one. I think that was the second one. Maybe it's the arced back. Not sure. I agree though, that looks, you're right, it looks banging. I think it's the arced back. I'm getting better. I'm improving with every time I do this painting. Wow. All right, I'll do a couple duckies for you. So again, I start with an oval, very basic oval shape. Just resting anywhere in the water. I kind of put mine up in the colors, but wherever you want. I mean, a small detail could be maybe pointing the opposite end of the oval to where the neck and head are going to go, just to make a little bit of a tail. So just a little bit of a point. I didn't mean to flatten it that much too. I might want to round it a little bit. And then for the neck and head, quite literally just a quick little line up at the one end and a quick little line over. If you want, you can maybe round out the head a little bit, but I don't do a whole lot of detail. It's just the general look. It's a very far away ducky. We don't need to worry too much. It's all good just like that. So I'll do a couple facing the other way. Like it's talking to one another. They're like, hi, hi. They're having a little conversation at the end of the lake there. There's another one joining in here. Again, angle them whatever way you want, as if they're all maybe swimming up. So I'll do an oval kind of angled up to the right a little bit. He's swimming up. This one's me. Hi guys, what's up? How are you today? Oop, my beak is huge apparently. That's fine. I guess I've got something in my mouth. I don't know. Have I been snacking? That one's me. And I'll do one more. We'll angle him the other way. But again, oval, pointed tail, line, line. There they go. Have a nice little combo. Okay, let's see. COVID is flying away with the geese and ducks. Krithy. Where would they fly to though? We want to fly them like away. Not just move it around the world, but I appreciate the thought. Alicia, thank you. This is my first paint. Very relaxing. I'm glad you had a good time. Elizabeth, great painting. It has memories. We do that. Yeah, exactly. I really found this one special because everyone was involved. Anyone who was on Twitch at the time and chatting actively, they were saying, I literally said, who would like to be a goose? Me, 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 me. Duck, me, 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 me. And I counted them all out and made sure everyone was taken care of. So I thought it was a lot of fun. So I just want to show you both there. I know you can't see both actually, but here I'll move myself. You can see both. There you go. It's about as similar as I can get it. Maybe a little larger geese, different down here a little bit. Otherwise, dang close. So if there are any other questions, I'm going to hang out for at least a couple minutes just to answer anything that you might have if anyone's catching up or anything, but I know some people were waiting for the video, so I'll give just a couple minutes today. They are definitely the gangsters of the bird world. Crows are the mob or the mafia, smarter, more refined or restrained. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think you're onto something. Keep going, keep going. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Joe agrees. Joe's on your wavelength. You're fine. Me too. James says when he went to Jamaica, he heard construction noises, end up being a crow. Lovely. They're great, aren't they? Thank you, Grog. Yes. Oh my gosh. I've been forgetting, guys. I've been forgetting that you need to sign your paintings. I don't know. The last few tutorials. Thank you, Grog. I've forgotten to say my usual. Sign your paintings when you're all done. It's very important. It means you're all done. You're proud of your painting. Even though I broke this cardinal rule recently, I said usually when you sign your painting, it finishes it off. Recently, I signed a painting and then started messing around with it again. Bad. Anyway, sign your painting when you're all done. I'll do that to mine. It was this one over here. Thank you. It's always special to sign it. Cool. Great. Yeah, good bonus step. Otherwise, just as like, you know, any other closing announcements, I don't know what to call these, whatever. Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for coming as usual. It's always fun to paint with everybody. If you're looking to post photos, I'm hoping you are, photos of your beautiful finished paintings. You can do that in a few different places. If you're on Facebook, we have the Facebook event page that will be opened up right after I end the stream so that it's open for you all to post. Post those lovely photos there. That would be great. Not in the comments here because this photo ends up being deleted. So instead, go to the event page, make a separate post in there. Again, I'll open that up for posting in a few minutes for you, so thank you for doing that. If you're on Twitch, thank you, Croak. Discord might be a little more your wavelength there. There's a nice art share channel you can share all of your art in. Feel free to do that. This event was completely free today, as all of my tutorials are. If you've been enjoying my tutorials and you want to support me, I really appreciate it. There's a PayPal link. There's an Interac e-transfer link. Tips are never expected, though. They're always appreciated, but thank you for those who continue to join me and want to support me through this. If you're looking for another tutorial, the next one is scheduled already for this Friday at 8 p.m. EST. Sorry, 8 p.m. EST. Again, a nice kind of like golden yellow toned scarecrow spoopy kind of painting. So we're getting even more into the Halloween-y kind of October era there. So join me for that if you're interested. Otherwise, lots more tutorials to come. If you want to see more of me, I'm on Twitch a lot. Twitch.tv/erinbunpaints. What is Twitch, you ask? It's just a live streaming platform. It's where I spend most of my time when I'm live streaming my paintings, so you can come hang out with me and chat. Maybe you'll be in the next painting, who knows? Again, yes, Twitch family's here. And yeah, otherwise I'll just keep reading here. Anju, painted Twitch family. I'm on Facebook, not included. Oh, well, if I could paint everybody, I would, Anju. All it was that I was creating it on Twitch, and they happened to be there. So I'm just saying, if you want to hang out on Twitch, maybe you'll be in the next one. Who knows? It's not that I don't want to include anybody. It's more so just that's where it was at the time. But yeah, pop in. I know you sometimes pop in on Twitch. Feel free if you'd like. Next time I say, hey, who wants to be in the painting? You just say, hey, me. That's all you need to say, and I'll include you, of course. Sue, thank you. Beautiful fall nature painting. You're welcome. My first time hanging out. Amazing. Feedback for next time. I look forward to it, Sue. Thanks for coming. Heather, I hope you had a great morning. Thanks for joining in. Elizabeth, yes, I do sign my paintings, even the date I made. Yeah, that's a great idea. And then you can kind of track your progress as well. I think that's really beautiful. Andrew, have a nice evening. You too. Shailene, where can I find the new video? Right when I end this, probably in like 2-3 more minutes, it'll be available on Facebook. You'll just need to refresh. You'll be able to play back the video. Elizabeth, bye. Thanks again. See you again. God bless you too. Thanks, Elizabeth, for coming. Rekna, love painting with you. We'll post soon. Amazing. I can't wait. Sign it, sign it, sign it. But yes, geese are a little bit troublesome sometimes. Thanks, K9. Thanks, Lynn. I will. Of course, no, whatever you like. Again, yeah, a lot of you are starting to say, oh, you know what, I don't paint along, I hope that's okay. That's totally fine. It's what I do with Bob Ross. I only watch him, I never paint along with him. So if that's what I'm doing for you, just a nice relaxing evening to hang out and chat, feel free to keep doing that. It's no problem at all. Amanda, oh, I'll show you after I close off Facebook here. Thank you for the socials link again, Grok. I saw that. Good night. Oh yeah, good night, Charlene. Whatever you like, K9. I just do initials because I just don't like to overwhelm the painting with my full name. And people have opinions on that if they like seeing signatures or not. I like to kind of hide mine, so I actually went in the grass and I did just a little EB Erin bun. Hee. It's in there somewhere with green, very hidden. So there you go. Whatever you like, though. Little Wolf Hype. Gabby, again, yes, thanks for the follow earlier. If you didn't hear, I said thank you a little late there because I was doing the tutorial and my alerts are off, but thank you. This was my first painting with you. Oh, this was so fun. Thank you for great instruction. You're very welcome, Gabby. Feel free to check me out anytime. We can hang out, you know, even outside of tutorials when I'm painting on Twitch. Feel free. It's always a very nice time in here. So thanks for coming. I'm really glad you enjoyed it, especially for your first time. Create your own signature. Yeah, exactly. People were suggesting I do quite a literal bun signature. I think that was kind of cute. Just a quick little, you know? So do a little symbol if you want. I think that's cute. Gotcha. Yep, whatever you like. Love these. Yeah. Yep, Lori's here. Again, that lavender painting. Thank you for that. What else is there? Oh, missing a lot here. Hold on. No worries, Shelley. Yeah, I'm like minutes away. You're welcome, Shelley. No worries. Pimage. Beautiful. Thank you very much. I think I have the flying birds. Yay, that's good. Mirna, you're welcome. Lisa, you're welcome. Deborah, you're welcome. Glad you had fun. Sheila, oh, love the fall scenes. More to come, more to come, more to come. Shelly, my daughter enjoyed. She is 9 years old. Oh my gosh. If you're willing to post a photo, I'd love to see. CJ, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm 12 years old. It was lots of fun. Oh, lots of younger ones. Oh, thank you guys for coming. I really hope you enjoyed. It sounds like you did. Thanks a lot, Erin. We'll post final picture. Excellent. Yes. Get your little girl on the dock and then let me know how it goes. Christine, thanks so much. Painting from the UP. UP. Upper. Oh, let me know. Let me know. The UP. Help me out. Help me out. First time painting with you. Sorry, I'm blanking. Geography is not my strong suit. Thanks for coming, Christine. Oh dear. Shelly, we only had a small canvas, but it was very relaxing. Good. Yeah, and any size is fine. I mean, I keep it consistent with 16 by 20, but otherwise, really any sizes work for sure. You too, Lori, thanks for coming. You're welcome, Julesy. I'll see you again. Good night, Shelly. James, I'm racking my brain. I was like, Upper Peninsula. I'll hang out for a minute or two, see if she answers. I'm curious. You're welcome, Case. Did you paint along today? He said, phew. Oh, Upper Peninsula. I was right. In Michigan. Excellent. Oh, yeah. Little Wolf got it. Cool. Thanks, Christine. Thanks for educating me. Honestly, I'm not great with geography. And I don't want to blame this, but I'm Canada. And I know my provinces. I don't know my states well. So even sometimes when people do the state short forms, I'm like, ooh, I try my best. Lil Wolf threw MI and I was like, oh, I don't know. Minnesota, no. Michigan, excellent. I'll learn. I'll keep learning, okay? Right on Lake Superior. Okay, cool. Oh my gosh. Well, welcome from the Upper Peninsula, Michigan, Christine. I'm so glad you enjoyed. Doing the birds tomorrow. Okay, cool. Yes, I did. Amazing. Yeah, birds will be a good little last edition, I'm sure, just to top it all off. You're welcome, K9, as always. UP is upper part of Michigan. There we go. Sue knows. See? Yep. Keep telling me, guys. Keep telling me. I like to try my best to learn, so that's good. Pimage, bye. I'll see you another time. Thanks so much. You tell them which people were Dirty Ducks and which were the Golden Geese Gang. I did not name names. I told them the story would. I pointed at the turtle. I told them that y'all were fighting about geese versus ducks. I didn't say who was who, because we're all happy family and friends. Thank you. Suzanne, thank you so very much. You really make it fun. It feels like you're here with me. Oh, and we're friends. We are. It helps with this COVID isolation. Suzanne, you don't understand. It helps me too. Maybe you understand. Sorry, you don't understand. It's the same for me, okay? I'm in this little apartment, locked up in here, trying to self-isolate too, and doing this with all of you. That's why I do it, because I just love doing it with everybody. It's great for me to paint. It's really great for me to paint with others and just to make friends along the way. It's been very special. And again, that's why I keep shouting out all of you here. I don't want to say just Twitch. I keep shouting out Twitch because I'm on there most often. And yeah, it's a growing community there. It's a growing community on Facebook too. All of you have been very, very special to me in this COVID isolation, weird world. So yeah, even if COVID were to end tomorrow though, I'd still do it because it's just been amazing. So thanks, Suzanne. I'm glad that it's provided just anything for you like that. Yay. Goose Gang, ride or die, chat. Facebook needs to know and get woke about the Goose Gang life. They can choose whatever life they want. I told them we're all friendly, geese and ducks. Thank you. Even though most of you are geese apparently right now. Love it. I'm glad, Suzanne. Yeah. Again, it's just a total benefit to everybody, right? And I said it earlier, if I'm not having fun, I won't be doing it. I'm still having so much fun, and it's benefiting me too. So it's not just all, selfless. It's for everybody. So thanks, Suzanne. I really appreciate it. You silly geese. Okay, I'm gonna end off. It looks like comments have or questions have stopped anyway, and I know some of you are waiting, so here we go. Videos ending on Facebook specifically. I'll see you all later, maybe Friday, maybe throughout the week on Twitch, okay? Thanks for coming. Bye.